Association, and Jay Swift. The center referee for tonight's game is Tim Collins. The sideline umpires are Daniel McClay and David Packard. These officials are neutral and have earned the opportunity to officiate tonight.
I'm going to rely a lot on you, dude, being this is my first lacrosse broadcast.
Okay, no, yeah, it's all good.
All right, cool, dude. I'm still trying to get all the terminology down and all that.
Okay, well, that's why I'm here. I can help you out.
Good deal.
At this time, it's time for the player introduction.
Check, check. 1, 2.
Check.
Yeah.
Check.
I'm hearing him good. Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Do we know the results from this year? Sarah won both of them?
10-7 and 9-6.
Okay. First game was 10-7?
Yeah. Well, no, the latest one was 10-7.
Okay, okay.
Number 2, Ryan Miller.
First game 9-6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3, Brandon Goulet.
All right. And do we have? Oh no, we got positions here. All right.
Number 5, Josh Allen. Number 6, Kevin Cup.
So Tagliaferri was just named MVP
For the second year
for the
in a row.
league. Okay, second year.
Yeah, second year in a row he's been EBAL MVP.
Number 9, Will Montero.
And then we have, let's see.
Peyton Dickerson.
And I've got this cool little magazine here that has a lot of good stuff.
Okay, cool. Is that the San Ramon? Yeah, I wasn't able to find this. Is this the
that was
old
their
one?
That was their football.
Oh, their
roster.
football.
I just
Okay.
did that to show how much people were on the football team too.
Yeah, because they only had Tagliaferri in their roster on Max Preps. There's one person.
Huh?
There's only Tagliaferri
Yeah,
on their
yeah.
roster.
So.
Number 18, Andrew Whiteman. Number 20, Matt
Oh, here's some stuff that sent me to, Pete.
Okay.
I don't know if you really need this, but this is last year's all EBAL team. And then just going on about Pete.
Yeah, I got some stuff about
in the Northern California Lacrosse Hall of Fame.
Right. Yeah, I have. I have a printout on him. Where'd that go?
Number 27, Jackson Teague. Number 28, Doug Straza. Number 29, Andy.
Oh, here it is from his website.
Okay.
Let's see.
Number 31, John Saliki.
That was 2000. What did you say? 2006.
2006, he was inducted into the Northern California
Hall of Fame?
Lacrosse Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Number 2, Kevin Rothward. Tony Fidel. Number 3, Blake Dykert. Number 4, Austin Frank. Number 5, Connor Lancaster. Number 7, Aaron Roberts. Kyle Kunin.
Yeah, if you could leave that right there, that'd be cool.
Okay.
Number 9, Michael Hurley. And Jeff McGill.
You mind if I highlight a few things?
Yo, go ahead, dude. That's what it's for.
Number 12, Patrick Wardfield. Number 13, Michael Cobb. Number 14, Nick Garland. Number 15, Carter Nichols. Number 17, Shane Straitman. Number 20, Nico Souza. Number 20, Daniel Aguilar. Number 22, Jack Sylvain. Number 23, Peter Tagliaferri. Number 24, Grant Wood. Number 25, Brian Donnie.
Huh? Go on after the anthem?
Yeah.
Sure.
Number 26, Trevor Oversky.
Unless you want me to say that little blurb right now. Do you think I have time? I don't know.
Number
You guys
36,
gonna say the
Ross
starters
Cohen.
beforehand?
Sure.
Number
Yeah,
36,
put the
Patrick
graphic
Ward.
numbers, bro.
Okay. you want me to do the little blurb now, just that little preview thing right now, or is it too late?
Number 44, Garrett Miller. Number 48, Michael Peck. Head coach Peter Worsdale.
Okay. I'll just leave it up there really quick, and then I'll go straight to the starters.
Ladies and gentlemen, draw your attention to the Lacrosse field for the presentation of the 2012 North Coast Section Boys Lacrosse Honor Coach Award. Receiving the 2012 North Coast Section Boys Lacrosse Honor Coach Award, San Ramon Valley High School head coach Peter Worsdale.
So what's that for? Coach, like
It's
Coach of the Year in NCS or something?
Pretty much. Honor Coach of the Year. Where's that? Here. Well, I don't know what it awards them on, but it's pretty much like they give it to one coach for each sport in the season.
Okay, spring on. Okay, he got an honor. Okay.
Yeah, and he was awarded pretty much the best coach
Okay.
out of all the coaches in lacrosse this year, boys lacrosse.
Okay.
Is not on winning, but rather a focus on the effort each individual athlete makes in every game and respect their opponent. Coach Worsdale would like to thank you for believing that the lessons taught on the lacrosse field are far less important than the life lessons you communicate to your
You want me to put that like right here or something?
Yeah, that's cool. That's all. Yeah. Perfect.
And commitment not only makes them better athletes, but better human beings. Honor Coach Peter Worsdale.
Last time San Ramon swept them, they won the title.
Really? That's good. Okay, when was that? Last year or 2010?
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
All right, De La Salle. Okay.
All right, let's do this. Setting the tone early.
Have a good one.
Thanks,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting broadcast here on CIF.NorthCoastSection.tv. Is that correct? Something like that, folks. Pretty much what we got for you tonight is the 2012 North Coast Section Division I Boys Lacrosse Championship match. It features the top two seeds, the number 2 seeded De La Salle Spartans, who come into this one with a record of 16-6, taking on the San Ramon Valley Wolves, who are the home team as the number 1 seed. They have a record of 19-3. The starters for San Ramon, in goal it'll be Cameron Bowlby. The defenders will be Aaron Roberts, Jack Huvane, and Kane Franklin. The middle backers will be Michael Tagliaferri, who is committed to North Carolina. Patrick Worstel, who was committed to Syracuse for lacrosse, now is going to Cal to play football with his former buddy Zach Klein. And Jordan Weiss, that is one of probably the best midfield you'll see in all of Northern California, as Weiss committed to Penn State to play lacrosse. And then the attackers, Austin French, Peter Tagliaferri, and Jackson Brown. They are coached by Peter Worstel, an All-American back in his heyday at University of Maryland. And probably one of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coach, coaching all of high school lacrosse in Northern California. And the De La Salle Spartans, who have always been known as quite the pedigree when it comes to athletic programs in not only Lacrosse, but throughout all of their programs that they have offered. It's an all-boys school out of Concord, California, coached by Bob O'Meara. Their goalie is Peyton Dickerson. The defenders, Matt Corbin, Kyle Price, and Tom Reigelman. The middle backers, Jimmy Keene, Will Montero, Jackson Teague, and the attackers, Owen User, Cade Bailey, and Jack McCormick. Will Montero, who is a junior and has already been recruited by one of the top D1 lesser-known schools in lacrosse, Bryant College. And I am joined by Alex, who will be my color analyst. Stephen Davies will be producing this one, and on the camera work will be Harold Mills. We're about to get started here, and it is San Ramon to win the face-off. Some spin moves early from number 23, that being Peter Tagliaferri, the younger brother of the star-studded talent Michael Tagliaferri. Peter still rolling with the ball, and now he passes it on over.
That's going to be a failure to advance on Peter, and like you said, Peter Tagliaferri, the younger brother of Michael, a sophomore, winning over 72% of his faceoffs this year, which is a huge factor to their success this season.
And so an early turnover for the Wolves, and now De La Salle getting the ball past midfield. Holding on to it right now is number 6, that being Kevin Coops, one of the defenders. He'll also play a middle back position. He's a senior. And shot goes wide and behind the goal. It'll still be De La Salle's ball.
And that looked like Jack McCormick had some time and room, but decided to take a shot where he didn't have much of an angle, and that one sailed wide.
Owen User gets it into the hands of Jimmy Keene. Keene running from left to right, and now he finds someone right near the 15-yard line. I can't quite make out a number, but he is circling behind the goal, calling for his teammates to move around, that being number 27. That is Jackson Teague, one of the middles.
And Michael, you said move around. That's the key word for De La Salle. They run a 2-2-2 offense. They'll have 2 men on the crease, and they do a fantastic job setting picks for each other and getting free.
Some nice body fakes there by Gabe Vincent. Oh, I'm sorry, make that Owen User. And right now, De La Salle continuing with the ball movement, as now they're back behind the goal, trying to fling it out to whoever's open, and it's a bounce pass on over to Jimmy Keene. Keene still with the ball, making some head fakes. Now gets it to a guy who's in the front line, but can't get it past the goalie, that being Cameron Bowlby. A big save, and his first save opportunity gets the Wolves fans in a frenzy.
Fantastic save there. That was a great opportunity for De La Salle to score, but Bowlby with a huge save, point-blank save for the Wolves.
All right, now it's Nick Garlieb running down the sidelines, getting away from Will Montero.
And De La Salle's defense, the number 1 ranked defense in NCS.
It's back to Jordan Weiss at the 40, just beyond the attacking third. Now they're into the attacking third. Weiss and Tagliaferri with those bright neon cleats, the neon green Nike cleats, both teams with Nike jerseys, as it's Jordan Weiss who loses the ball. And now there's a scrum for it up near the 40-yard line, and it's De La Salle that comes away with it and is running, streaking down the sidelines. It is Will Montero with a sling on over to his comrade there, who's now circling the back of the net behind Cameron Bowlby. With the ball is the sophomore Cade Bailey, one of the attackers. Bailey trying to put some head fakes on number 7, that being Aaron Roberts, but he cannot get away from him. It's Will Montero now with the ball. Montero, a junior who has been described as ultra smooth with an excellent shot on the run. That according to NorCal Lacrosse. Montero with that bright neon green webbing on the end of his stick. A chance for a goal here as they're up front in the attacking area, and another save that deflects off Bowlby. Seemed like it hit his shoulder, and San Ramon comes up with it. It's going to be number 17, Kane Franklin.
2 huge saves early on here by Bowlby.
A loose ball in the middle of the field, and picking it up is Patrick Wurstel, the coach's son, Peter's son. Wurstel also with those lime green Nike cleats, and the lime green kind of striping, or maybe a t-shirt underneath the jersey. It might reflect the captains out there, as the middle backers, all captains, Weiss, Tagliaferri, and Wurstel.
And like you said in the open, Michael, in my opinion, they're the best.
And a goal for San Ramon!
Best midfielders in California.
Just as Alex was about to call them the best midfield combo in America, the best midfield trio in America. San Ramon scores with 8 minutes, 6 seconds left to go in the first quarter, an early 1-0 lead.
And Tagliaferri with the goal there. Great shot, time and room shot by Tagliaferri as he was able to put the one past the De La Salle keeper.
Michael Tagliaferri, the all-star.
The UNC-bound senior, second year as MVP of the EBAL. And the Wolves will get the possession here.
Tagliaferri, who's also going to be on the, well, he's going to be playing in the Team USA game, the Team USA U19s. They'll be playing in Ukraine over the summer.
And you rarely see that in California. There's a very select few who ever make it on that team in general, and to be from California and on that team is quite an honor.
San Ramon threatening right now, looking for goal number 2. They had the ball inside the attacking third, brought it out, and now it's Jordan Weiss bringing it back in himself, and then he passes out, back beyond the attacking third.
And it's safe to say, Michael, that they're going to be attacking from their midfield this game. They're going to be using their midfield to create opportunities and score, all with fantastic shots, and all of them can create space for themselves and shoot on the run.
San Ramon trying to get this one close to the net, but De La Salle playing some pretty good defense surrounding their goalie. Their goalie being the junior, Peyton Dickerson. And right now, just good ball movement here. It ends up in Jordan Weiss's hands with a tough, hard, fierce sling to the goal, but it goes wide left.
Fantastic shot by Weiss to get that on cage. Hit the left pipe, and SRV gets the possession.
San Ramon retained possession after the missed shot there by Weiss, and then it was Patrick Wurstel who tried to fire a bouncer towards the goal. He missed deep and right, and San Ramon almost another bounce shot, bounced just high and up over the goal, and now there's a fight for the ball between a couple De La Salle players and some San Ramon players. Ball almost goes out of bounds. It is controlled by De La Salle, that being number 22, the senior Kyle Price, and just keeps it out and gets it away into the hands of his other senior, Kevin Cups, before it went out of bounds. Cups is going all the way across the field. He is down the middle of the field, now to the attacking third, down near the 15-yard line.
Yeah, but he's going to look to get it out of his hands and come off the field here. He's listed as a defensive midi, so his job is just to play good defense and get the ball over if he can.
And a nice shot towards the goal, and it is a goal by number 14, the sophomore, Cade Bailey. With 5:49 left in the first quarter, we are tied at 1.
Great job by Kevin Cups there. Great job by Kevin Cups there to bring the ball across the midfield line and find his sophomore attackman, Cade Bailey.
Cade Bailey with a goal there. Ties this one up at 1 apiece. The 2012 Boys Division I Lacrosse Championship game being played here at Gale Stadium in Dublin, California. Some substitutions being made for De La Salle. Is coming off the sidelines for the Spartans will be Will Montero and also Jackson Teague. They took a little bit of a breather earlier. De La Salle in the all-green uniforms. Green tops, green bottoms. Like I said, they're Nike. Has a little Nike swoosh right at the middle upper chest there, below the collar, and then it reads De La Salle in capitalized font going across, with the number below that in white outlined in black, and then a big number in white outlined in black. Below that is a stripe, and then below the stripe is the Spartans logo. As a shot misses wide and deep there by De La Salle past the goal. Going to retrieve it is Will Montero. Make that number 11, Owen User.
Yeah, great play there as Jackson Teague kind of snuck above goal line extended and was able to find himself and get open. And I'm kind of surprised here, De La Salle, not too much movement here on the inside with their playing a two-man game with their 2-2-2 offense, but we'll have to see as the game goes on if they get more active on the crease. Coming out now with a 2-2-2 with 2-1-3.
De La Salle into the attacking third as they are to the right of the goal now, trying to plan a play. And it's into the hands of Jackson Teague. One of the impressive juniors on this year's De La Salle squad. And now it's Will Montero, the most impressive junior. Already getting looked at by Bryant College. De La Salle with the silver helmets. And now circling around the goal is number 24, that being Jack McCormick, who misses the goal there on his shot attempt. And now it's back into McCormick's hands. And a hard shot there that misses, clinks off the top goal post there. That being number 7, Jimmy Keene's shot that misses.
Great effort by McCormick there as he was able to get the ball back and look right away and find an open Teague.
De La Salle just keeping the pressure here on the Wolves. Seems like they have been in the Wolves' defensive third now for quite some time. And it's De La Salle's number 9, Will Montero, making moves and then decides to pass it off. He wanted to score himself, but realized he had no real estate to do so. A bouncing shot attempt misses wide and to the left and stops the clock here with 3 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in the first quarter from Gale Stadium in Dublin. A tied game at 1 apiece between the number 2 seeded De La Salle Spartans and the number 1 seeded San Ramon Valley Wolves. The Wolves are in all white uniforms, white tops, white bottoms. They are Nike as well, with a yellow stripe running down the sides. Their jerseys have the little Nike swoosh just below the collar in the middle of the jersey as well. Below that, reading in small capitalized font, Wolves. Under the Wolves is the round number in green outlined in gold, and then on the back is just a big number, bigger version of that round number, green outlined in gold, and another shot missed by De La Salle. So they have been putting the pressure on Alex here in this defensive zone for San Ramon.
Yeah,
but they just can't get any of their shots to fall in right now.
Yeah, not necessarily a bad thing. Great offensive sequence we're seeing right here by De La Salle, and if they keep shooting away, they're going to get one of those in the back of the net. They've had some great opportunities, just not on cage.
Bowlby having his head on the swivel. He's probably just asking his teammates to just clear the ball out, as he has to keep looking around the front of the net, then the side of the net, then the back of the net, as right now he's looking towards the back of the net because the De La Salle player was circling around the back. A shot misses wide and goes out of bounds near the San Ramon Valley bench, and I think that is going to create a turnover.
Yes, it will, and not a good way to end that sequence. They had a number of good offensive possessions there, and they're looking to score, and with that errant pass, they're going to have to go back on defense.
And it's going to be Michael Tagliaferri to inbound, and he gets it into the hands of his brother, that being number 23, Peter Tagliaferri. So it's a family affair here for the San Ramon Valley Wolves.
And both those Tagliaferri brothers, 2 huge reasons why the Wolves had success this year. As I said earlier, the sophomore Peter Tagliaferri wins over 72% of his faceoffs, which is one of the single most important categories to win.
As a former lacrosse player, what does that provide? Why is it so vital?
It just provides you the possession, and the team with more possessions is most likely going to win. So if you have a dominant faceoff guy, and it's over 72%, that's dominant, you're going to have a great chance to win every game.
Well, right now, San Ramon is attacking. They were into the third, and then they just briefly pushed it out. Now they're back in. An errant pass almost goes errant, but nice grab to go up top there by one of the attackers far left for San Ramon. Now quickly behind the goal, and then pushed down was a player, that being Peter Tagliaferri, pushed down by a player for De La Salle. Ball comes loose, and De La Salle comes up with it. Over on the far right side.
Looked like to me that could have been a push with possession and a penalty, but the refs, I guess, didn't see that, and they're letting them play on here in the NCS Division I boys final.
Refs letting the physical play go, as these are 2 very intense rivals going at it tonight for the championship, as a timeout is called with 58 seconds. You're talking about EBAL supremacy right here. The top teams, San Ramon, De La Salle, public school versus private school. They have met in championships already for other sports this year. I'm going to turn it over to Alex, who has an advertisement.
You can watch highlights or a replay of today's game in our on-demand section, and you can also buy a DVD or Blu-ray of today's game right on CIF-Northcoast.tv. Click on Buy DVD, and you can order today's game right now. Have a game that lasts a lifetime. Brought to you by CIF-Northcoast.tv.
All right, and talk about the familiarity between these 2 teams. They have met 11 times in the past 4 seasons in lacrosse, with San Ramon right now winning the last 2. De La Salle, before that, had won the previous 7. De La Salle beating San Ramon back on May 26th, 2010 in a 2010 NCS semifinals game by a score of 10-6. San Ramon Valley was a 3 seed back then. De La Salle was the 2 seed. And these two teams have met in a championship game once before, that being back in 2008, the last time that San Ramon Valley swept De La Salle in a season. And San Ramon ended up winning the championship game. It was a Saturday afternoon game here at the very same high school football stadium, the Gale Stadium in Dublin, California, but that was a sunny day game. Now we're in night climate temperatures here. Like I said, San Ramon Valley winning that game 11-4 back on May 17, 2008. But overall, De La Salle has had better success. Like I said, a 7-4 record over the San Ramon Valley Wolves in the past 11 matchups, scanning over 4 seasons. As we're back from the timeout break, it's De La Salle's ball. They have it in their attacking third, looking to score, looking to take the lead, as it's a tie game right now, 1-1. And a shot over the outstretched arms and stick of the goalie for San Ramon, that being Cameron Bowlby.
Not the best look by McCormick, but he was able to get the shot off, and they were able to get the possession back. De La Salle really starting to move now on the inside here, trying to create some opening.
And a nice save, kick save there by Bowlby. He went low with his legs to get it, but De La Salle gets the ball off the deflection, and now they're still in the attacking zone.
And a big hit there by Teague.
And Jackson Teague with a big hit. De La Salle just continuing to rifle shots at Cameron Bowlby. Not all of them accurate or successful. They've only made 1 out of about, 20 shot attempts?
But the important thing is they're able to back up the shot and get the possession. It would really be,
Will Montero slinging one.
And you got to get that off before the quarter's over. But if they weren't able to get the back up the shot, that would be a bad thing. But they're getting a lot of shots off, which is fine, and they'll find the back of the net soon enough.
Will Montero with precious little time running out, try to get a last score attempt into the scorebooks, but he missed tremendously bad on that shot, as he really had no angle to get it in. So that's going to end things here in the first quarter. A very competitive game. It's so far De La Salle, though, putting on the most pressure, and it's a tied game right now. 1-1 is your score between the 2-seeded De La Salle Spartans and the number 1-seeded San Ramon Valley Wolves, playing for the championship here in the 2012 Boys Lacrosse Division 1.
Looking for a great place to advertise your business while reaching the greater high school community? Then you want to advertise on CIF-North We have great rates for your business while giving you the opportunity to get your message out to a very important demographic. For more information, give us a call at 619-677-3246.
Thank you, Alex. You take a look at North Coast Section lacrosse history. North Coast Section started putting on lacrosse championships in 2004, and De La Salle has won 3 North Coast Section championships in 2007, 2009, and 2010. San Ramon with their lone title back in 2008. Monte Vista, I believe, has the most titles with 4. Or actually, they might be tied with De La Salle at 3. De La Salle just recently was voted the number 3 or the 3rd best sports program in the USA by IBN Sports for their athletic program as a whole.
Michael?
Overall, yeah.
Wow.
Modern Day was voted number 2 in the U.S. and number 1 was Good Counsel High School out of Maryland.
Wow, 2 in California.
Pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
Well, the second quarter has began here, and it is San Ramon now going from right to left as both teams have switched sides.
You'd have to think that they're going to initiate with their midfield here. As Tagliaferri has the ball up top.
Tagliaferri thought about taking a shot, passed one into his teammate there, that being number 10, Jackson Brown, who let rip a shot there that shoots behind the goal.
And Jordan Weiss is dangerous. He had time and room there, just a little too high, and it pinged off the crossbar. But time and room, he's one of the best in all of California. The Penn State-bound senior.
It is a blue sky covered with some gray clouds.
Great night for lacrosse, Michael.
The lights are fully on. The sun hasn't fully set yet. It's not a complete dark sky. And a couple good saves there by the goalie for De La Salle, that being Peyton Dickerson. So altogether, we've seen some great saves by both goalies.
And we got a timeout here.
And a timeout will be called. 10:41 remaining in the second quarter. Score still tied at 1 apiece between the Wolves of San Ramon and the Spartans of De La Salle.
Want to have your game broadcast live on the internet and be able to watch it again and again on demand while making money for your sports program? Want to give your students the opportunity to create their own broadcast for your school's athletic events? Then contact us at info@kbcsports.com. We offer season packages for schools, a full curriculum for your students, and an opportunity to raise up to $10,000 for your sports program. Again, that's info@kbcsports.com or call us at 619-677-3246.
All right, and so just early impressions here as we are a quarter and a couple minutes underway, Alex.
Physical game so far, and like you said here at the end of the first quarter, De La Salle with a number of opportunities. They haven't been able to capitalize on their opportunities, but from Coach O'Meara's standpoint, that's a great thing to see from your squad, and especially after losing both the games earlier in the year. The first matchup 9-6, San Ramon Valley won, and the second 10-7. They were close, but you want to see those kind of offensive opportunities from your team early on to give them kind of confidence, and if they score a couple, a little bit of momentum.
And so we are about to resume from the timeout, and we do as it's Jackson Teague inbounding it. De La Salle now going from left to right, marching southward down the field. Jack McCormick now with the ball into the hands of User passing it back for Will Montero. Montero trying to elude defenders, puts the ball on the ground, and it is stolen by the Wolves. Marching up the field now is Kevin Braunschweig. Braunschweig past the 50. Braunschweig still with the ball. He flings one out to one of his players there along the right side, who's now circling back behind the goal. And it looked like a good opportunity there for number 32 or 42, that being Jordan Weiss, but he did not capitalize on it.
Yeah, it looked like a good opportunity, but
Patrick Worstel.
Didn't think they had the numbers there, so I think that's why Patrick Worstel pulled it out there.
Seemed like he had a one-on-one with the goalie and didn't take it, though.
Maybe not the best angle. Goalie was hugging the near pipe, and they didn't have the numbers, so he decided to pull it out.
De La Salle with the steal and speed, marching down the field. Jackson Teague now with the ball. Jack McCormick. Trying to get past Kane Franklin of San Ramon Valley. And now they're jostling with each other. And it's into the hands of Jackson Teague.
Great defense by Roberts down there. The defenseman not letting that attackman topside.
Teague gets it back to Keene, who flings one on in front for McCormick. McCormick using a pick by Teague.
That's going to be an illegal
pick. And the refs
pick.
are going to blow the whistle. And the illegal pick gets the Wolves fans on their feet clapping.
Yeah, great defense by Roberts there as a defenseman. The number one rule is to not let your player topside, and he kept McCormick below GLE. Great defense.
There's a big-time Wolves presence here in this stadium. They let it be known that it was their home at the end of the national anthem. And I guess geographically speaking, Dublin High School is a closer locale for San Ramon Valley and their fans rather than De La Salle and their fans. A long bounce pass out towards midfield, and Michael Tagliaferri, who gets it and then starts running with it before passing it off. They are now in the attacking third, are the Wolves. It's the coach's son, Peter Wurstel, with the ball, thinking things out as now he's back behind the net. Wurstel circling the net, looking to pass. He gets it into the hands of Weiss, who the ball goes into the stick and then out of the stick, and now it's De La Salle who comes up with the loose ball, and then they are pushed out of bounds. A loose stick, and a flag flies.
And I'm going to see what they're going to call here. They're going to call a push with possession, a technical. I believe that will be a 30-second penalty.
De La Salle's best senior, Matt Corbin, had the ball as he stole it in a loose ball that reflected off of Jordan Weiss's stick as he was rushing with the ball. A furious push out of bounds is what Corbin suffered. And what did they call there? They gave a yellow flag to
Jordan Weiss. They called a push with possession. When you have possession of the ball and you get pushed from the back, that's going to be a penalty
Weiss,
on the opposing team. So he's going to have to sit in the box.
Weiss is in the penalty box, which means De La Salle has a man advantage right now.
Yep, working their EMO offense, their extra man offense here. Let's see if they can get a goal.
And this is where you got to capitalize. The special teams unit needs to get a goal here while they have the man advantage. Is it like hockey where it's a 2-minute penalty?
No, this one's going to be 30 seconds, a quick one, and they're already even now.
30 seconds, and you can tell that the Wolves are happy with that penalty kill.
Very happy. That was good. They were playing a box and one there. The Wolves were, and they were able to kill that penalty.
And the Wolves trying to come up with an opportunity, but stopping it was the goalie, that being Peyton Dickerson. And now a long outlet for De La Salle, who scores! A goal scored by number 28, Doug Straza.
And funny thing, I saw Straza before the game, at halftime of the girls' game. He was running from the 30-yard line and taking bounce shots. Looks like that paid off for him, and he gets a goal. The long stick midi for De La Salle. The sophomore, Doug Straza, huge goal in this NCS game. It's always great when I see a long stick midi or a defenseman score, being a defenseman myself.
The bounce shot goes in for Straza, the sophomore, and the Spartans now lead 2-1 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Wolves trying to regroup and quickly tie this game back up. They're walking rather slowly on the field as it seems like they're really trying to prepare for a big-time play. Ball put in front, no shot yet. It's Jordan Weiss in the attacking zone who flings one to his right. And a shot up front by Tagliaferri, that being the young Tagliaferri, Peter, but he cannot connect. And Peter scoops it up off the ground. A loose ball, and San Ramon keeps control in their attacking third. It's Michael Tagliaferri in his neon green holding on to the ball, looking for someone to pass it to. Maybe he'll take it himself. He's working on the senior Kevin Coops, who's defending him. And now it's Tagliaferri back behind the goal, and he is thinking about taking it himself as he runs. Does a jump shot, but cannot connect as the ball goes wide right. Chasing it down is going to be, I believe, Jack Huvane.
Yeah, and that's advantage Tagliaferri there. As he had a short stick. He had a mismatch on him, so he brought him behind the cage to try to drive and finish. Good shot, just went wide. As you see the long pulls on him now. They got their long stick midi on him. That's what they're going to want to do all game.
Patrick Wurstel sitting up near the front, and another flag is thrown by the referees.
It's a push with possession.
Austin French, closest to the referee. He scoops up the ball off the ground. It'll be a push with possession, and De La Salle will now have to sit in the box.
And Austin French, they're a freshman attackman with over 50 points on the season.
The penalty there goes to number 22. That being Kyle Price, the senior defender. And so now the Wolves with a man on. Just extra man opportunity, EMO, as you like to say, right? The EMO.
Exactly. The extra man offense. And Price just a little too aggressive on that, but San Ramon Valley, something that you don't want to do by any means in an extra man offense set, throw the ball away. So you'll see a double team here on the ball. Or they might not. They're going to leave the double team. They're going to make De La Salle make the cross-field pass to number 20, Matt Corbin.
Clock stops with 5:04, and now it resumes as De La Salle takes it back from behind their own goal. And rushing up the field with the ball is Will Montero. He's at the 30, which begins the attacking third. And now is running backwards. He puts up a high pass, which is corralled in by number 27, that being Jackson Teague, the junior. Teague cradling the ball and now passes it on over to his teammate, Will Montero, who has a strong lacrosse IQ. According to NorCal Lacrosse, they say he's one of the best, and he will be going to Bryan College, or at least has been recruited by there. He's only a junior. So the possibilities for Montero and the De La Salle Spartans, who will have his services again next year. This is a team that could possibly be in this game, in this very situation once again next year.
Yeah, fantastic to see both of these teams with a number of Division I commits or recruits.
And now it's Jimmy Keene working against San Ramon. Keene was moving in towards the goal. I thought he was going to take a shot, but instead released a pass on over to McCormick. Back into the hands of Keene, who sets a pick now as he passed the ball on over to Montero. And Montero with a bouncer in that just misses.
Yeah, not the best angle from Montero as he was sweeping to the right a little too far, but De La Salle was able to back up the shot. They'll get the possession.
And a loose ball created there by number 7, that being Aaron Roberts.
Yeah, nice check.
Of San Ramon, who was getting kind of physical there with De La Salle. De La Salle has the ball, though, however, and moving around with it is Jackson Teague. Teague gets it out to McCormick. McCormick now into the hands of Keene. Jimmy Keene, who puts the ball on the ground. It is loose. Who will come up with it? It'll be De La Salle. Despite some pushing and some stick moving by both teams, they were jostling with the sticks, and now it's going to be the Spartans. Moving into the attacking third, Montero's shot is blocked by a defender for San Ramon, who gets right in front of the ball and stops it from getting to his goalie, that being Aaron Roberts, just saying, I'm going to just put my body in front of it. One thing I'll notice about the boys' game compared to the girls' game that I produced earlier, the boys with helmets and pads. The girls, no helmets, no pads.
Exactly, Michael. Two different games, great both to watch, but the
boys' game just a little bit more physical, right?
A little more physical with being able to wear these pads and the helmet, yeah.
Lacrosse, it's a sport that's just growing and growing. Its reputation here in Northern California.
Absolutely, Michael. Continues to grow, and it's pretty amazing how much it's grown over the past 5 or 6 years.
And Garrett Miller tried to look for a wide-open Peter Tagliaferri. His ball gets away from Tagliaferri and goes out of bounds, and the clock has been stopped now with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left to go in the second quarter. The De La Salle Spartans right now holding on to a slim 2-1 lead.
And I believe, Michael, they were able to get the timeout before Tagliaferri threw it away there. So San Ramon Valley is going to retain possession. They were able to get a timeout before the ball went out of bounds down there, before he threw it.
Now, what do you think San Ramon needs to do, Alex, in order to score? Do you think they need to start running plays, and if so, what kind of plays would you run, or should they just kind of keep it on the fly and just whatever they see open?
Well, if I were running the team down there, and I don't need to say any of this because he's one of the best coaches, not just in California, in the country, but you have to think they're going to initiate with their midfield. You have 3 midfielders who are all Division I prospects, and so I would initiate through the midfield. I don't see why not. They have, Tagliaferri, Worstel, and Weiss. 3 great talents. 2 of them playing lacrosse in college, 1 playing football. But Worstel could play lacrosse in college, decided otherwise. And so I would initiate through my midfield. I would move the ball around a few times, have everyone touch it, and then either one of your 3 guys. Tagliaferri is fantastic with sweeping to the right across the field from left to right across the top of the box and creating space for himself. So I'm initiating with my midfield. When you have 3 guys of that caliber, you have to initiate with them.
But it just seems like both teams really have no set identity. They're just kind of flinging it in. I don't really see too much called plays out there. Is that how the sport of lacrosse works?
No, I mean, sometimes you're always in a set. You're always in plays. So there's not necessarily, you're not going to see one like definitive, one play, we're going to do this. They're in a set, so they're in an offensive set, and they have a few different ideas, excuse me, and plays that they're going to do. So right now, they're in a 1-3-2 as we call it, from X all the way to the top. So they're moving it around, they're working, and they're looking for open players, and they might, as it gets around, they might initiate a play, Michael. So we'll have to see as the ball moves around here.
San Ramon Valley with the ball as we resume from timeout. They trail by 1 here in this 2012 North Coast Section Boys Division I Lacrosse Championship game. Spartans, the number 1 seed. The Wolves of San Ramon Valley, the number 1 seed. There's some athleticism shown there by number 4, Austin French, jumping and avoiding the ball that almost came up near him. And De La Salle takes the ball away. A substitution will be made as coming off the field is Zach Hornbuckle for De La Salle. Jackson Teague comes on to replace him. A scrum for the ball right now, and it is San Ramon Valley who will come up with it. San Ramon Valley with the loose ball, and now it's Patrick Wurstel avoiding a defender with a nice move there along the right side of the field. He passes one in, and now it's going to be, that was Tagliaferri running with it longest time as he got into the hands of Wurstel, and now it's back behind the goal.
The freshman French with it. Fantastic talent down there at attack.
Tagliaferri at the top of the middle third box. It's Jordan Weiss now along the right side trying to work with the ball, and he gets it stolen away from him by the senior Matt Corbin, the defender, who's tough, sizable, and is tenacious at the defensive end, according to NorCal Lacrosse.
A little sloppy here from the stars for San Ramon Valley. We've seen Weiss and Tagliaferri and even Worstel lose the ball a couple times, get it checked away. Just look like
especially Weiss.
Yeah, a little lackluster here in the early going. I expect them to.
Seems like his ball handling, he's not cradling the ball good enough.
Yeah, I expect them to pick it up though as the game progresses here, as we're 20 seconds away from halftime.
And so now it's San Ramon. Not too much time left. Clock ticking away. 12 seconds left before half. Can the Wolves get a goal?
Great check by 28, Doug Straza, the long stick midi who had the goal. A great check on Worstel there.
The De La Salle fan faithful across from us pretty happy, and San Ramon scores right before half. That goal should be good. Right now it is counted as good. He gets it off just in time. That being Jackson Brown, number 10. Right before half, the buzzer beater to send this game into a tie score at halftime. This has been a fantastic first half. Sloppy, but fantastic nonetheless.
Looks like they're putting 1 second back on the clock. And that was great by Jackson Brown. Not what you want for De La Salle, but he was at, as we like to call it, 5 and 5. He was 5 yards up and 5 yards out of the goal. And he was able to get time and room, and he ripped that one home. Great shot by Jackson Brown to tie this game at 2 right before halftime.
So they're going to put 2 seconds back on the clock. Jackson Brown, so far we've seen a goal scored by different players all throughout. No one has scored twice. The teams have scored twice, however, and that will be the score as we go into halftime. 2-2 between the 2-seeded De La Salle Spartans out of Concord and the 1-seeded San Ramon Valley Wolves out of Danville. We'll come back with a little bit of a halftime show, maybe a little bit of a recap of the first half. But folks, you are listening to this exciting 2012 North Coast Section Boys Division I Lacrosse Championship game live from Gale Stadium here in Dublin, California, being broadcasted exclusively on your home for high school sports, that being CIF-North Coast Section .TV, a part of the Play On Sports Network. Remember, folks, today's game is being broadcast live on the internet on CIF-Northcoast.tv. You can buy a DVD or Blu-ray of today's game and watch a replay on CIF-Northcoast.tv. And you can watch the Lacrosse Championships live and on demand, all on CIF-Northcoast.tv. All right, folks, Michael Smith back with you. We'll do a quick recap, and then after that I'll have a interview that I got with Coach Wurstel back on the football championships when San Ramon and De La Salle met each other for that. I mean, it's kind of crazy. We talk about the rivalry between these two schools, Alex. They met earlier this year in a football championship for the North Coast section. De La Salle got the best of San Ramon in that one, winning 49-13 at the Oakland Coliseum. And then they also met in the 2011-2012 North Coast section soccer championships this year. And De La Salle beat San Ramon for the fourth consecutive Division I NCS title, winning by a score of 2-0. So this is now the third time that these two teams have met up for a North Coast section championship this season. And through the first half, we are tied at 2 goals apiece. The first quarter ended with a tie score. Michael Tagliaferri lit up the board first for San Ramon with 8 minutes, 6 seconds left to play. He had that nice goal to get things started. And then Cade Bailey, the sophomore, getting a goal with 5:49 for De La Salle to even things up. That evened the score up at 1, as that would be the last goal going into the second quarter. Then in the second quarter, Doug Straza, a guy that you don't hear too much about on this De La Salle team, coming off the bench and providing a spark. The sophomore plays the middle back position. He gave De La Salle a lead 2-1, and they held that lead for a while. Time was starting to become an issue as San Ramon couldn't mount any kind of pressure. And then finally, Jackson Brown, the Brown buzzer beater, with 2 seconds left before the half, ties it back up at 2 apiece. And so I ask you, Alex, what was your take of the first half? And then who has the momentum? Does San Ramon have the momentum with that last with the fact that they scored last?
I think they do kind of have the momentum. As you know, De La Salle didn't want that to happen, and San Ramon was able to capitalize on a time and room shot by Jackson Brown to tie the score. But this game has kind of been, it's been back and forth. It's been a defensive struggle so far, and that's what we expected. I mean, both the first two games, first one was 9-6 and 10-7 the second game, so they're low-scoring games. This one 2-2, but like I said earlier, on the San Ramon side, they got to initiate with their 3 All-American midfielders in Weiss, Tagliaferri, and Worstel. So I expect that to happen, that to come from SRV. And then for De La Salle, I expect them just to create a little offense by sending cutters and moving around on the crease and really initiating with their attackmen and the 2 guys that put themselves on the crease when they're in their 2-2 set.
All right, thank you for your analysis, Alex. We'll take a real quick breather, and then we'll get to that interview here, folks. 2-2 is your score at halftime, as you're listening to the broadcast of the 2012 North Coast Section Lacrosse title game here for the Boys Division I on CIF-North-Coast.tv.
Throughout the week on Comcast Sportsnet California. Coming through to the NCS website, video highlight clips provided by Cal High Sports Bay Area.
All right, folks, we're back here. You know, this interview, I'm going to have to try to break it into pieces for you. It was a little bit longer than I thought it was. But here is Coach Wurstel talking about his trio of players that have been documented so well here for San Ramon and what they've done in bringing the brand of San Ramon lacrosse to its prominence.
Some pretty prominent programs in the sport of lacrosse. Well, I think they're indicative of the sport of lacrosse going coast to coast now. And, those three young men have helped really build the brand of San Ramon Valley lacrosse. And we're consistently a top 10 program. I'm extremely, extremely proud of those guys. And we happen to be a program that supports multiple sport athletes. So I am not surprised because we do encourage it and we allow them to play other sports. We encourage it. They excel at other sports, and I think the end result is they're better football players and they're better lacrosse players because we do encourage that and let guys go off and use their full athletic talent versus just pigeonholing them into one sport and 365 days a year. So I think that's the end result is you just watching, it's a fantastic display of watching three great athletes play different sports.
And that was him talking about why it is important that all three athletes, Tagliaferri, Weiss, and Wurstel, the fact that they played football wasn't a bad thing. He looks at it as a great thing that they played football and lacrosse.
No, it is a great thing, Michael. You'll see football players that play lacrosse. Their footwork is great. And also another good sport that translates well to lacrosse, and especially with face-offs, is wrestling. You'll see a lot of wrestlers, good wrestlers. They'll be fogos, which is a face-off get-off. They'll only face off. So there's a couple of sports. It's always good to play multiple sports, but a couple of sports that especially translate well to the lacrosse game.
Yeah, I was doing the research here on both the San Ramon Valley football team and the De La Salle football team. San Ramon Valley had 6 guys from their football team that currently play on their lacrosse team, and San Ramon Valley will score.
Peter Tagliaferri getting on the board there, the sophomore. Nice little move and finish by one of the Tagliaferri brothers.
So now each Tagliaferri brother has a goal to their name tonight. And it's the youngster, Peter, who puts his San Ramon Valley Wolves out in front.
And
the third lead change tonight. And it's 3-2 now the score in favor of San Ramon.
And Peter not just helping out on the face-off aspect of things, but able to score as well, putting the Wolves in the lead 3-2 here in the third quarter,
Peter Tagliaferri, one of those 6 players that was on both the San Ramon Valley Wolves varsity football team and is a current, member of this 2012 lacrosse unit. He was joined by his brother Michael Tagliaferri, Brendan Clancy, Jordan Weiss, Patrick Wurstel, and Aaron Roberts. And San Ramon Valley once again with the ball, and once again in the De La Salle defensive third. They're looking to score and double their lead. A shot goes deep there by the Wolves.
Nice time and room shot by Weiss. Just a little too high above the crossbar. San Ramon Valley able to back it up there. Great look.
And they almost had a ball that dribbled into the edge of the goal there. As a loose ball on the ground bounced around. And a vicious hit there past the 20-yard line out near the 25. Number 26, Tom Riegelman, getting hit hard. The 6'4", 190-pound junior whose birthday is in 4 days. He'll be turning 17, the junior. Happy birthday to Tom Riegelman. May 29th.
Tagliaferri with a sweet swim move. And I couldn't tell if that was off the keeper or the crossbar, but a great move by Peter Tagliaferri there.
De La Salle scoops up the loose ball. And now they're making moves past the midfield line. And number 15, Zach Hornbuckle, takes a pounding.
I don't know why they didn't call a flag there on Wurstel as he comes off the field. He pushed number 15, Zach Hornbuckle, the defensive midi for De La Salle. That should have been a penalty and maybe a 30-second technical, I'd say. Push with possession.
Hornbuckle, Cups, and Straza will head to the bench for De La Salle, or the sideline, to take a breather. De La Salle breathing in some new blood. They're down by 1, and they're trying to tie this one up. Some nice deke moves being put on by Will Montero. And now it's out to Jackson Teague. Teague moving the ball around now into the hands of Owen User.
De La Salle really opening up the San Ramon Valley defense.
User working against Kane Franklin. And now it's number 7, that being Keene.
De La Salle in a 2-2-2.
Trying to work with the ball. He tries to fling a pass high, intended for his teammate Jack McCormick, and it goes out of bounds. Sales need a track there towards the De La Salle stands. De La Salle gets the ball back, and now they're circling back behind the net near the perimeter, the circle. As they could smell a goal, and a shot clinks off the goal post. De La Salle almost had this game tied. And now it's the goalie with the ball, pushing it out. That being Bowlby. Bowlby getting past midfield and now retreats all the way back to his goal. Can you take it all the way up if you're a goalie?
You can. You can take it up and score. My goalkeeper in college went coast to coast and ripped one. Yeah, you can go as far as you want.
Bowlby, I thought he was going to just keep going. He stopped just shy of the midfield line. And once again, another good body check there. And Tagliaferri scores the goal. And then jumps up and celebrates. Michael Tagliaferri.
Great look by Worstel as Tagliaferri. Oh, excuse me. That was Tagliaferri to Tagliaferri.
Oh, did Michael pass it into his brother?
He did. He did. I thought that was Worstel for a second, but that was Michael Tagliaferri to his younger brother, Peter Tagliaferri. Second goal for Peter as he's ready to face off again, and the San Ramon Valley fans get loud here at Gales Stadium.
3 unanswered goals here for San Ramon. Down 2-1 right before the half. They scored with Jackson Brown. And since 2 goals here by Peter Tagliaferri to start things in the second half, the third quarter. And it's now 4-2. San Ramon up in their lead as they have now doubled their lead. 7 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. De La Salle just working behind the net. It's Owen User looking for somebody as he is being guarded heavily by Kane Franklin.
De La Salle offense very, very spread out here.
And now it's Jimmy Keene working, and a goal there up front.
Owen User, fantastic.
Owen User.
Fantastic offensive set there by De La Salle as they spread out the San Ramon defense, and User was able to sneak in on the backside there, right by the crease, and get that feed. 4-3 now. SRV still in the lead here with 6:23 left in the third quarter.
Nice look there by Jimmy Keene, getting it into the hands of Owen User. And now the lead cut back into only 1. 4-3 now the score. San Ramon holding on to the 1-point advantage with 6:15 left to go in the third quarter. It is a completely dark sky now here at Gale Stadium in Dublin. And San Ramon strikes back.
And that's what Tagliaferri can do.
Michael Tagliaferri with his second goal of the evening. And now both Tagliaferri brothers with 2 goals apiece.
A simple drive by Michael Tagliaferri and finish with the left hand. And he's got it both the right and the left. Can go either way, and we saw what his left hand can do there. And the Tar Heels are going to have a fantastic midfielder this next year. 5-3 now, San Ramon Valley in the lead.
And the Wolves fans creating a thunderous earthquake type of feel below us here in the press box. Stomping their feet up against the bleachers. We saw a first half that had 4 goals combined by both teams. And we have a third quarter that has 4 goals already alone, and we're only halfway through. 5:50 left to play here in the third quarter.
I think that's expected, though, Michael. Both teams kind of loosened up a little bit, and they're getting their scoring opportunities, and they're converting now.
5-3 is your score. The San Ramon Valley Wolves back out by 2. Back out in front by 2. As the ball squirts past the end line, back behind the goal. San Ramon Valley with possession now. And a 2-point lead, 5:22 remaining in the third quarter. Jordan Weiss running up the field, or make that, Worstel. And then he put on the brakes. And gets it into the hands of Tagliaferri. Tagliaferri back to Weiss, who rips one at the goal, and that one cannot go through. As the goalie there for De La Salle, Peyton Dickerson, making a good save, and now he's going to take it out to about the 45-yard line, and then he stops and looks for a teammate to give it to as he now retreats back to his goal. It's the sophomore Cade Bailey working with the ball. Substitution being made on both ends. Coming on from the bench is Garrett Miller for San Ramon.
Unfortunate there, as number 11, Owen User, couldn't save the ball. And I don't agree with that. He knocked the ball out of bounds, and you could see his reaction, his frustration. He was mad at himself, but for some reason the officials have given the ball back to the Spartans.
And the coach from San Ramon Valley not excited or not happy about that call at all. And he's still letting into the referee there along his sideline, letting him know what he thinks of that call.
Yeah, Michael clearly off on User, and you could see his frustration. Like I said, he knew it went off him, but the ref, I guess, didn't see that.
Clock stops with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Your score right now, San Ramon Valley 5, De La Salle 3.
KBCSports.com and the Play On Sports Network showcase great high school games every week. And now you can access our content using multiple platforms. Follow us on Facebook, get the latest KBC and Play On news on Twitter, or catch our highlights in high definition on YouTube. All of our content can now link to your favorite social media site. Share all of the high school action you see every week. Brought to you by your home for high school sports, KBCSports.com and Play On Sports.
All right, thank you, Alex. De La Salle and San Ramon, two schools that know what winning championships and having great athletes is all about. Talk about De La Salle, most known for their football programs and their championships, but look at what they've done so far this year throughout the school year. Their basketball team won a North Coast Section championship. These are the ones that have already won North Coast Section championships. The basketball team for De La Salle, the cross-country team, the football team, which beat San Ramon Valley 49-13, the soccer team, which beat San Ramon Valley 2-0, and the wrestling team. And then they're going for some titles this weekend. The volleyball men's team trying to get a win at home tomorrow night versus Mission San Jose. Baseball is playing their quarterfinal game at home against Heritage, which is coached by one of my best friend's dads, and Kevin Brannon. That'll be tomorrow afternoon. And also tomorrow, De La Salle's track team competing in the North Coast Section Meet of Champions at UC Berkeley.
Michael, you'd have to say that number one ranking for their athletic program is well-deserved after that list.
Yeah. They compete in pretty much every championship. Back from the break. And right now, De La Salle looking to score. They are down by 2. They have only scored once in this third quarter. Outscored 3-1 here in the third quarter by San Ramon. San Ramon takes advantage of a turnover. And now it looks like they have numbers, or at least they did. De La Salle swallowed that up in a hurry. But it's Tagliaferri at the 40-yard line. Running into the attacking zone, And now it's Austin French who gets it back into the hands eventually of Tagliaferri. Tagliaferri sitting back at the line that is at the top of the attacking third box. And now it's Peter Wurstel back into the hands of Tagliaferri. I'm sorry, make that Patrick, Peter's son, Peter the head coach. And Tagliaferri,
an absolute
lasers right at the goal.
Wow, he has one amazing shot. Right-handed rip.
And it looked like that one went in the goal and then bounced out, but it did not.
That's hard to tell. Yeah, that was just nicked off the post, and that was stick side. The goalie just could not see that. It was so fast by Michael Tagliaferri.
5-3 is your score. De La Salle now running with the ball up near the field. They're into their attacking third. It's Teague with User. User running around the back of the goal. Tries for a backhanded shot. No good. Ball in the air. Deflected, and it's San Ramon now stealing it. Number 44, Grant Miller. Tosses one over to Tagliaferri. Tagliaferri make that Patrick Wurstel into the hands of Jordan Weiss. Now it's into the hands of Tagliaferri, that being Michael, the senior, headed to North Carolina. Drifting across the field. Now at about the 20, make that the 15 and the 10, circling with the ball now as he's behind the goal and to the left. Out in the corner end of the end zone there, in the south end zone. And trying to get past the defender. And another shot attempt that just misses for San Ramon. De La Salle gets the ball and then takes a hit and then a slash at the legs. That might be a penalty. There should be two penalties, really. There was the hit at first, and then it looked like number 20, Matt Corbin, after he was frustrated, slashed his stick at the legs of a San Ramon Valley Wolf.
Whistle had already blown, and the referee had called a push, so he's going to stick with that. Can't call anything after the whistle, but I agree with you, Michael.
De La Salle will have the ball now. A minute 50 left to play in the third quarter. De La Salle down by 2. A shot attempt. No good. But De La Salle still retains control. It's User, Owen User, working against Kane Franklin. User on the run. His shot is no good. A save by Bowlby. And Bowlby connects the ball. The ball was sitting loose after he made the save. Kind of bouncing around. Bowlby gathered it and cleared the ball out. San Ramon Valley digging the work that they've seen out of their goalie so far tonight. He has made some pretty good stops. He's been on pressure all night. On fire all night. De La Salle, that's one thing. They will keep coming. They haven't made the most of their shot attempts, but they definitely take a lot of shots. And you got to take shots to make them. San Ramon now with the ball. And they lose it.
Great look by French there. But Brown just couldn't hang on, and De La Salle is going to get the possession.
And now it's De La Salle. They had a 2-on-3 break it out. But things closed. Now they're working about a 3-on-3. Some substitutions being made by both teams. Nico Souza coming in for the first time tonight for San Ramon. Coming off will be Patrick Wurstel. Checking in for De La Salle will be Tom Riegelman, and also for San Ramon will be Austin French. Going to chase the loose ball is the Spartans. And now it's Jimmy Keene. Keene in the middle of the field. Getting the ball into the attacking third. Looking for someone to pass to. He passes it to Will Montero. Montero looks inside. And the ball is in and out of the stick of the sophomore Cade Bailey. And the whistle's blown. And the refs are signaling that it's De La Salle's possession of the ball.
I couldn't exactly
with 0.1 second left.
I couldn't exactly see what the ref was signaling, but I'm pretty sure that was a hold. He's calling a hold. And so De La Salle will...
And that will do it. After 3 quarters of play, the San Ramon Valley Wolves storm out in front. It was a 2-2 game at halftime, and they scored 3 goals in the third quarter to jump out in front. De La Salle scored 1. 5-3 is your score. The number 1 seed San Ramon Valley Wolves in control and looking to win their second ever North Coast Section title. We'll be right back.
We'll have baseball coming your way next Saturday, June 2nd, as we head over to Oakland to bring you 4 games from the home of the A's, the O.Co Coliseum. The North Coast Section Finals will take place on the same diamond where A's greats have made their mark over the years. And now this year's class of high school athletes will have the opportunity to do the same. Join us on CIF-Northcoast.tv beginning at 10 a.m. next Saturday, June 2nd. Your home for North Coast Section Sports.
All right, thank you, Alex. Looking at the East Bay Prep Athletes of the Year as picked by the Contra Costa Times. And some familiar names on that list. Michael Barton, Zach Klein, 2 guys who were the poster boys for their football programs for each team. Martin for De La Salle, Klein for San Ramon. Both going to Cal. And now Patrick Worstel will join him. Originally was committed to Syracuse to play lacrosse, and now will pursue his football dreams and play alongside his buddy and a great quarterback in Zach Klein.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing to me, coming from the lacrosse family that he comes from. Peter Worstel, his father, in 2002 voted one of the 50 best lacrosse players ever in the ACC, a 4-time All-American, and the only player in Maryland history to be an All-American at 2 positions. And speaking of Zach Klein, I got to see him this year. Fantastic quarterback, and I bet Worstel is going to be happy to join him and Barton as well.
Yeah, Worstel was his main receiving target. Tagliaferri was kind of the scat back. Weiss was the starting running back.
And Klein graduating early to go over there to Cal. And he's going to be, I think he's going to be a great quarterback for Cal here in the future. 4th quarter underway now.
San Ramon Valley, in that list, had 9 athletes in the top 125 athletes compared to De La Salle with 6. But to be fair, San Ramon Valley includes both boys and girls. De La Salle just has boys programs. Flag flies as the 4th quarter begins.
And this is a little confusing here because we have the ref on the far side calling a ward and the ref on the near side closest to us throwing a flag.
Peter Worstel, the coach of San Ramon, not happy. His hands are on his hips. He wants an explanation.
Conflicting opinions by both referees here as they have a conference and they're trying to figure out what happened.
Fans moaning and groaning here below us in the Wolves section. The Weiss family faithful right below us as I see the mom wearing Jordan Weiss's jacket. The dad wearing a shirt that reads Weiss on the back. Both mom and dad, Mama and Papa Weiss standing up with their arms crisscrossed across their bodies.
So they sorted it out. No penalties there. Looked like they called a ward on San Ramon Valley, so De La Salle gets the ball here.
De La Salle will get the ball, and now they will go from left to right. Marching down southward. San Ramon Valley will have to march uphill, going up north. And they lead right now at the moment, 5-3.
And I'd like to see a little bit more assertiveness by the offense, a little more movement. They've been kind of slow moving here so far in the game. I thought their 2-2-2 would really be active, and those 2 guys on the crease would be working hard. Haven't seen that as much as I would have liked to have seen.
Now, question, Alex, do you notice if there's any kind of special? Does it feel better to go down one side? Like, do you feel like you could score more maybe going southward down the field instead of going up the field?
No, not necessarily. The only thing that I would say is maybe going down. Most players in this league are right-handed, so are right-hand dominant, so they're going to go down the right side of the field on either side.
Okay.
That's what they're more comfortable with. But some of these guys out here, like the three midfielders for San Ramon Valley, some of the kids on De La Salle have both a right and a left hand, so it really doesn't matter which side they drive down, but going south or north, that doesn't have any effect.
So you're saying it's mainly an east-west side of the field thing for the right-handed, left-handedness, but the north-south direction doesn't really make a difference?
Unless we were playing the daytime and the sun was a factor for the goalie or somebody like that. But
okay.
No, it's right-handed and left-handed, and when we're seeing this kind of caliber of lacrosse, most of the time it doesn't really matter. You got these Division I athletes and they'll have a right and a left hand.
This is my first time to Gale Stadium, and it is quite the football stadium. I could see why when the North Coast section took a break from hosting the football championships out at Oakland Coliseum, I could see why this was the site chosen. And since they have chosen this site for soccer championships, lacrosse championships, it is just...
It really is. They got that sports complex behind us.
Yeah.
When I played football here years ago, it wasn't, I don't think the field was even here. I think it was in a different location. It was a grass field. So they've really made the facility, upgraded the facilities here, and they're fantastic.
They are quite remarkable. De La Salle kind of in panic mode as they're down by 2, and the momentum really hasn't swung their way since the second half started. It all began with that Jackson Brown buzzer beater to end the first half to tie the game up at 2. De La Salle had the momentum, scoring 2 unanswered in the first and second after being trailing 1-0. They took a 2-1 lead, scoring 2 in a row. But after that buzzer beater by Brown to tie things up at 2, the momentum has totally swung into the Wolves, who outscored De La Salle 3-1 in the third quarter. And some good defense being shown by the Wolves. A great stop by Bowlby, who is juiced. He's jumping up and down. He's pounding on his chest. The fans are loving it here on the San Ramon sideline. And why not? Their Wolves are up by 2. And like I said, they have looked in control this whole second half.
They have a huge save there. I mean, they're up by 2, but if De La Salle scores that, they feel like they're even that much more in the game. And so that was a huge save, even a momentum shift for the Wolves. And that was point-blank save by Bowlby. Fantastic.
And maybe you could call it early, but it seems as if the San Ramon Valley Wolves are already starting to get in keep-away mode. Not really aiming for goals here, but just kind of passing the ball around, keeping it out of De La Salle's reach.
Yeah, they want everyone to touch it at least once or twice, and maybe then initiate a drive, some sort of play. But yeah, no really,
So in a sense, that would be equivalent to basketball. You kind of want everyone to touch the ball before a shot's made.
Right. Then when they say, you'll hear the coach say 100, and that means he wants the team to get the ball around one time, 200 twice, and then you'll see, like we're seeing right here with Tagliaferri, he drives, he's going to dump. There's just certain things that they'll do to kill the clock and to also get in their offensive sets. That's why I like everyone to touch the ball a few times.
De La Salle with the ball. And some substitutions being made by both squads. The latest substitutions are going to be Nico Souza coming in for San Ramon Valley and Cade Bailey coming in for De La Salle.
And De La Salle can't lay back here. They have to initiate offense, and they need to continue to get shots off like we saw them get shots off in the early going. That's not going to help.
And De La Salle loses the ball themselves. They create their own turnover. Mistake. San Ramon shooting one at the goal, and it does not go through. Great save there by the junior goalie, that being Peyton Dickerson. Once again, another loose ball. San Ramon trying to fight for it. Who's going to win that fight? There's a lot of pushing and shoving now. And it looks to be...
a timeout, San Ramon Valley.
Timeout, San Ramon Valley is the call. 7:10 remaining in this championship game for the 2012 Boys Lacrosse Division 1. And it is 5-3. It is number 1 seeded San Ramon Valley Wolves out in front.
Need a highlight video for your athlete working to earn that 4-year scholarship? Then you want to contact kbcsports.com. We can provide recruiting video for any athlete in any sport. Not only that, but we give you your own recruiting page right on our website. No more mailing DVDs to colleges. Instead, email coaches the link to your personal page. For more information, including pricing, contact us at recruits@kbcsports.com or call us at 619-677-3246. And stay tuned for the CIF-North-Coast.tv postgame show, where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this game today. That's coming up following this game on CIF-North-Coast.tv.
All right, thank you. And so it will be, no matter what happens in this game, it will be an East Bay Athletic League team winning the title. And this is just remarkable. You look at the East Bay Athletic League and the sport of lacrosse, they're pretty much synonymous with each other. 7 of the 8 North Coast section champions between the boys and girls in the Division 1 have been from the East Bay Athletic League. In 2011, you had both Monte Vista and Carondelet winning it for the boys and girls. In 2010, it was De La Salle for the boys, Monte Vista for the girls. In 2009, De La Salle for the boys, Monte Vista for the girls. In 2008, San Ramon Valley for the boys and Amador Valley for the girls. In 2006, Monte Vista won for the boys, where California won for the girls in 2007. San Ramon Valley's girls won it in 2006, whereas Monte Vista boys won it in 2005. And in 2004, Monte Vista boys and Foothill girls winning. So the East Bay Athletic League could be regarded as the best lacrosse league in Northern California. What do you think about that, Alex?
That's safe to say. They have fantastic talent. And you mentioned earlier Monte Vista. They're up there, too, on the boys' side. And the girls' side, they're both good. But Monte Vista on the boys' side has been dominant these past couple of years. I would say they're definitely one of the best leagues in California. You also have to take into consideration the San Diego teams, La Costa Canyon, Rancho Bernardo, Poway. Those teams down there are good as well. So if not the best, one of the top two in California.
Yeah, they're saying it could be one of the best in the state, as at one point in time on a recent state rankings that was released by laxpower.com on May 1st, they had 3 East Bay Athletic League boys teams in his top 12 and 3 East Bay Athletic League girls teams inside his top 10. San Ramon Valley attacking right now with the ball. No can do as they released a shot, but pretty good defense lined up by the Spartans of De La Salle. And now, once again, the ball is loose, but there's some pushing and shoving, and it leads to a fast break goal.
Just what De La Salle needed. Cleaning up the garbage there. No one's able to really get possession of the ball.
Jack McCormick scores for De La Salle.
But McCormick able to pick up that ball. Great athletic play by McCormick. Spins around, and he's one-on-one with the keeper. And finish that. That's just what De La Salle needed. Within one now, with 5:54 left in this fourth quarter of the NCS Division I Boys Championship.
There was a lot of pushing and shoving going on with the loose balls, but De La Salle remained on the better end of all that pushing and shoving, and it led to a breakaway for Jack McCormick, who scores his first goal of the evening.
And Peter Tagliaferri, that is, with another face-off win for the Wolves.
5-4 the score with 5 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in this contest. We are in the fourth and final quarter. Now, if the game's tied, will there be an overtime? Of course there will be, right?
Yes, there will. It's in boys, it's sudden death overtime.
Okay.
First to score.
Now, will it keep going that route, or will they eventually go to penalty shots?
No, keep going. Sudden death until somebody scores.
All right. San Ramon Valley trying to add to their lead. A pick set, a screen set, and now it's Tagliaferri who lines a pass on over to Jordan Weiss. Weiss trying to shake a defender. He splits 2 defenders and then loses the ball. De La Salle will come up with it, or will it be San Ramon? No, it will be De La Salle. Make that San Ramon. Somehow they got the ball back, and now they have numbers. A 4-on-3, a flinging shot, a diving shot there by Michael Tagliaferri. No good.
It was lucky that San Ramon Valley got the possession back, but in my mind, that's too much. I believe that was Tagliaferri on the first offensive set there, just trying to do too much with the ball, trying to split dodge, and he got doubled and tried to run through it. I know he's a Division I athlete. Future Division I athlete, but still doing too much. San Ramon able to get the ball back, though.
Tagliaferri. It's hard for him not to do too much when he gets all the attention. Under Armour All-American.
And that's impressive. I mean,
Team USA, under 19.
You'll see, most of those kids are East Coast. You'll see the kids from Boys Latin and McDonough High School, those boys in Maryland, Georgetown Prep. Those are the kinds of kids that, and the caliber of teams that have those, Team USA and Under Armour All-America. Very impressive to see Tagliaferri on that list.
He's even in the Adrenaline All-Star game. Are you aware of Adrenaline and the kind of gear that they provide for the sport of lacrosse?
I am, yeah. I've worked a couple of Adrenaline camps. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not familiar with that game, though. I'm not sure how many kids they have. Or
sure.
I mean, I know it's obviously high caliber, but yeah. I mean,
they're seniors. It's a senior game, and him and Worstel were both invited. And De La Salle will get the ball on a change of possession here with 3:24 left.
Need a goal here. They need to just kind of possess the ball here on offense and take what San Ramon Valley gives them. Don't force anything. Set up your offense.
And he's going end line to end line. The shot by number 24, no good. Balby with a great save.
And McCormick, he was about at 5 and 5, what we like to call 5 yards up from that imaginary goal line, extended line, and about at the 15-yard line. He looked like he had time and room, but in my opinion, you hold it, you run something, you move it around a few times, you take what San Ramon gives you. Now they need to stop here on defense, and as the clock continues to run, they're going to have to get a double team sometime soon. Or or pressure out like they're doing now.
Jordan Weiss right now with the ball. He puts it up top to Tagliaferri. Tagliaferri now goes to his right and Wurstel. Wurstel running, make that jogging with the ball now. Has it in his stick, cradling it around, now moving in towards closer to the goal, puts on a move on a defender, and Wurstel still thinking about maybe trying to shoot it in towards the goal. And he faked a pass there, now does pass one back behind the goal. Looks like a screen's going to be set up by number 10 for San Ramon Valley. That being Jackson Brown, who scored a goal. He scored the buzzer beater. And now it's into the hands of Tagliaferri. Tagliaferri kind of walking around with the ball. He's now going back behind the net.
Now the ref signaled he's got to keep it in. It's under 2 minutes. That means he has to keep it in the box.
A minute 55. Nice move by Tagliaferri. Tries to get the high goal there.
And he was in the crease, so it's going to be a turnover. He thought he got pushed from the behind. Great swim move, but De La Salle is going to get the possession.
Tagliaferri comes up limping there after trying to jump up and get the top shelf goal over the goalie for De La Salle, that being Dickerson.
What a great goal that would have been.
And now it's De La Salle on the move. Will Montero. San Ramon Valley Wolves fans chanting defense as Owen User now has the ball. He stops with it just beyond the attacking third box.
De La Salle needs to use all the time here. They need to set something up offensively.
Jackson Teague circling. Trying to look inside, and the ball is stolen by San Ramon.
Now you're going to have to pressure ride here. They need the ball back. They're going to have to get pressure on San Ramon Valley and eventually start doubling with a minute left in the game.
1 minute remaining. 5-4 is the score. San Ramon Valley.
And that's failure to advance. De La Salle's going to get it.
They did not advance the ball before midfield with 10 seconds, right? 10 seconds?
They got the timeout. They got the timeout first. Wow, yeah, from the box to midfield is 20 seconds, actually.
20 seconds.
And then it's 10 seconds to get it into the box.
So the fact that they called the timeout before leaves them in control of the ball when we get back from the break?
It does, and they restart. They restart the count.
So talk about San Ramon being smart and calling that timeout just in the nick of time. 49 seconds left to go in what has been a very exciting yet low-scoring North Coast Section Division I Boys Lacrosse Championship game.
Now, that's just fantastic coaching on Worstel's part. To be able to call that timeout in that position, he's just so knowledgeable, so much experience, great pedigree, and he was able to call that timeout there and save his team from a turnover with 49 seconds left in this championship game.
Out of the past matchups in the past 4 seasons, 5-4 has been the lowest score in any of those matchups, and that was back on April 26, 2011, in which De La Salle won 5-4. That was the lowest differential between the two teams and the lowest combined score between the two teams.
Very exciting game. I expect De La Salle to come out after this timeout, to come out and pressure the ball and also.
So what would you do if you were De La Salle? How do you get the ball back and score?
Well, right now I'd be shutting off. I'd have somebody right on the ball and also have 2 players on any adjacent passes, pressuring, because you need the ball back. So maybe even a double team right here, and that looks like that's what they're doing. They're going to double Tagliaferri, and they're going to have to leave somebody open, probably the furthest pass. Not a great job of doubling, though, as Tagliaferri runs right by that double team.
And Santa Mo nearly turns the ball over. A lot of high passing. Jordan Weiss better do something. And the scoreboard never ran once we got back from break. And the Santa Mo Valley Wolves fans, they're looking at us. We're just the broadcasters. We don't control the clock. And Jordan Weiss's mom really not liking the fact that they didn't turn the clock back on. We were at 49 seconds before the break.
Looks like about 15 seconds
and
or so had run off.
Yeah, about 15 seconds ran off, it looked like.
The fans heated here.
They think there's some De La Salle scoreboard operators right now, or clock operators. Clock never ran. Now, could they just go back to where it was supposed to start from? That would make the most logical sense. Act like those 15 seconds never happened and go back to where you started from the break.
Yeah, but also if the refs are always keeping time on them, so they know how much time has run off.
So the refs say that there was a 10-second runoff, as now the clock's set at 39 seconds.
And so here's the double again. That's what I do if I were De La Salle. I double. You got to shut off the adjacents, make them make the far pass. Wow, and Tagliaferri. With that shot, almost scored very far away. Almost, he was at the left side box, almost scored there, but De La Salle gets the ball after they back that shot up, Michael.
Wow, and now talk about opportunities here. 35 seconds, De La Salle with the ball. What will they do? De La Salle rushing up to the attacking zone.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout. Yep, O'Meara's not going to let his team just run through that. They're going to set up a final play here in this NCS.
Head coach Bob O'Meara calling a timeout. We'll go to a quick advertisement maybe, and then I want to see what Alex would do if he was De La Salle with 24 seconds left.
Want to have your game broadcast live on the internet and be able to watch it again and again on demand while making money for your sports program? Want to give your students the opportunity to create their own broadcast for your school's athletic events? Then contact us at info@kbcsports.com. We offer season packages for schools, a full curriculum for your students, and an opportunity to raise up to $10,000 for your sports program. Again, that's info@kbcsports.com, or call us at 617-3246.
All right, so now, Alex, what do you draw up here if you're Bob O'Meara and De La Salle?
If you're Coach O'Meara, you got to get it to your best player, your hottest player right now. I would drop a play where I would get into their 2-2-2 and try to work something on the crease, try to create something with the midfielder, and hopefully get an attackman free. Initiate with your midfield and try to get somebody open down below. There's no time on the clock I'm looking at right now. But
what's the difference between an illegal pick and a regular pick? What makes it illegal?
You have to be completely set. You have to be completely set. When you see those legal picks,
kind of like drawing an offensive foul in basketball.
It's kind of similar to basketball where they're moving or something like that. So I would.
Hey, was there any favorite plays that you had dialed up where you felt if we run this play, it's a for sure goal? I mean, what's the best play to get open? I guess to get a great look.
I would say you initiate like they're doing right now. Initiate from offense. It looks like we have a timeout. Oh, they need to fix the clock. That's what they're complaining about. But like we're going to see them initiate with the midfielder, and then I believe we're going to see some action down here on the left side, and some picks and some cutting just to try to get somebody open. So that would be the best kind of play. I mean, I was a defenseman, but if I was in this position, I'd give the ball to the best player, let him create something.
Now, did you still ever come up and score some goals?
I did, yeah. That was always fun. But yeah, as you can see down there are 3 players down there near goal line extended, near the 15-yard line. So I expect some picks and things to happen in that area to get some of those guys open. As I try to get the clock set here, I believe there's 24 seconds left. I think that's right. The refs are talking with both Coach Worstel and Coach O'Meara. But Michael, I think they initiate with the midfield and try to get an attackman the ball who's down there by goal line extended near the 10-yard line on the left side of the field. We'll see what Coach Amir has drawn up here as they're ready to restart. 24 seconds left in this NCS Boys Division I final.
Peter Weir still felt like his team was the team to beat from the beginning of the season. And with 24 seconds left right now, they're in that position to still be the team to beat. As De La Salle loses the ball on a shot attempt, but they get it back in midfield. And the clock still hasn't started once again. But they're saying that's it.
They're keeping that on the field. They're keeping the clock on the field. The refs now, there's probably 7 or so seconds, I'd imagine. Maybe even a little bit.
Who has the ball?
SRV has possession now.
San Ramon Valley has the possession, and they have the championship. The San Ramon Valley Wolves will win the 2012 North Coast Section Boys Division I Lacrosse Championship. The final score, 5-4. They are now two-time champions in the sport of lacrosse in the North Coast Section, adding to their year already one of 2008. Now 2012 marks the second year in which the lacrosse program from San Ramon Valley gets the job done. They beat their arch rivals, their league rivals, the De La Salle Spartans. De La Salle, can't believe it, hands on the heads of some of their players, but it's the chemistry of the Wolves. It's a family affair that gets it done, as both Tagliaferri brothers scoring 2 goals in this one, helping their team to a 5-4 victory. Fans pouring on the field from the San Ramon Valley Wolves.
Yeah, fantastic game, like you said. Family affair for the Tagliaferri brothers and the younger Tagliaferri Peter doing it on the with the face-off, winning face-offs. For the year, he won over 72% of his face-offs and also scoring those 2 goals. The young sophomore.
Tagliaferri said this, quote, "We have the talent, and now it's just time to really want it. I know we do. We've got all the individual stuff. Now the only thing that's missing is that ring, and they will finally get their ring as they get the win." Michael Tagliaferri, who seems like a pretty deserving candidate of our player of the game. Cameron Bowlby made some great saves, though, too, didn't he, Alex?
He did, and
De La Salle put the pressure on him all night.
Had a great game, too, winning those face-offs and scoring those 2 goals. Kind of hard to pick a player, but we're going to have to do that.
All right, folks. Well, do you want to pick one now, or do you want some time to think about it?
Let's come back.
Sure. Folks, we'll be right back. Final score here from Gale Stadium in Dublin, California. 5-4, the number 1 seeded San Ramon Valley Wolves stay as the top dog in the pack of the lacrosse sporting world, and they are all excited in green and gold down there. They will receive their trophies, and we'll come back, folks. We'll give you who we think our player of the game is and an interview with that player of the game in just a couple of moments. All right, folks, Michael Smith back here with you. You are listening live to CIF-Northcoast.tv. We have a final score, and we have a new champion here in the North Coast section for the Division I in boys lacrosse. It is the San Ramon Valley Wolves, led by their trio of seniors, one of the best mid-lines in all of the state, if not all of the West Coast, and maybe even one of the top mid-lines in the nation.
Yeah, definitely.
When you think about Patrick Wurstel, Michael Tagliaferri, and Jordan Weiss.
Yeah, definitely on the, with the Western states, but probably top 5 in the country. I mean, you don't come across a midfield like that unless you're, playing in Maryland or D.C., anything like that. For boys, Latin, McDonough, Georgetown Prep, the schools I named earlier, fantastic midfield line.
And now it's time to recap this game. It all started back in the first quarter. Michael Tagliaferri, the star-studded senior, going to North Carolina, getting this game going early, lighting up the boards, making it a 1-0 score. And then De La Salle responded as Cade Bailey came back just about 2.5 minutes later and scored to tie it up at 1-1. That would be the score with 5:49 left to go in the first, and that was how the first quarter would end, tied at 1 between the Spartans and the Wolves. Then in the second quarter, De La Salle jumped out on top for their first lead of the evening as Doug Straza came off the bench and provided a spark, giving the Spartans a 2-1 lead. And then the goal of all goals, the buzzer beater with 2 seconds left to go before half. Jackson Brown, another kind of surprising player who doesn't get a lot of pub due to the main headliners of Tagliaferri, Weiss, and Wurstel. He scores for San Ramon and gives them that momentum swing that they needed right before half, as they couldn't get a goal for so long since their first one by Tagliaferri. They finally tied the game up at 2 going into halftime, and you just felt the momentum swinging at that point, right, Alex?
Yeah, completely, Michael. I completely agree.
Going into the third quarter, breaking from halftime, it was the younger Tagliaferri to take the lead back for De La Salle very quickly into the half, about a minute and a couple seconds into the half. Peter Tagliaferri with a great bouncing goal made it 3-2, and then Peter scored once again about 3 minutes later, making it 4-2, doubling the lead, the largest lead of the evening for any team. San Ramon was really in control at that point. Then Owen User scored a goal to make it 4-3 for De La Salle. They closed in by 1, and that would be the score going into the third quarter. Then going into the end of, going at the third quarter, then Michael Tagliaferri scored to make it 5-3. That would be your score at the end of 3 quarters of play. And then in the fourth quarter, De La Salle closed within 1 with 5:54 remaining. Jack McCormick scored to make it 5-4. De La Salle would mount some more pressure but could not get another goal to score or to go in. And so your final score, 5-4. Like I said, Michael Tagliaferri scoring both the first goal to put San Ramon out in front to start the game, and then scoring the last goal for San Ramon, which would be the ultimate game decider, as San Ramon wins this one by a score of 5-4. And so, with those 2 important goals, the starter and the finisher, I'd say my choice for player of the game, Alex, would have to be Michael Tagliaferri. Do you agree?
I agree, completely agree. The senior going out on top, scoring, like you said, scoring the first goal, scoring the goal to put the Wolves up by 2. Really did a fantastic job all night, so we're going to name him our player of the game.
All right. Well, then, folks, we will try to get an interview with Michael Tagliaferri as soon as we can after the hardware is done being passed around to the teammates of both San Ramon Valley and De La Salle. Once again, folks, the San Ramon Valley Wolves knock off their nemesis, make it 3 straight in this year alone, and it is the San Ramon Valley Wolves who once again beat De La Salle just like they did in 2008, only this time by a lesser score, but same results, 5-4 your final. It's the San Ramon Valley Wolves who are your 2012 and North Coast section Boys Lacrosse Division I Championships. Folks, you can check out the interview that we will have with San Ramon Valley mid-backer, I guess you'd call him. Midfielder, Michael Tagliaferri. You can check that out on CIF-North-Coast.tv. Hopefully you enjoyed the broadcast. Michael Smith here alongside my wonderful analyst who I couldn't have done it without, Alex. Your last name,
Richmond.
Alex Richmond. Stephen Davies, of course, doing the producing, and Harold Mills behind the camera work. And so, folks, stick around. We have some great baseball being broadcasted next week. And as always, check out our Player of the Game interview that we will have with Michael Tagliaferri. Thanks for listening, folks.
Tomorrow, 12 noon, we'll have the D2 Championship, Marin Catholic and Marimani. And 2 o'clock, the boys, Marin Academy and Marin Catholic.
Any predictions? Or are you going to stay unbiased on this one?
No, I'll predict. I'll say Marin Catholic in both.
Marin Catholic for a sweep, huh?
Yeah.
The girls and boys to get it done. Okay, I like that one. Stephen Davies agrees as both.
And it's at Marin
The
Catholic.
boys and girls will be playing at their home digs, and that's a nice little stadium out there.
Yeah.
It is a very tough place to play. All right, folks. Well, we'll be back. Like I said, check us out for our online interview with Michael Tagliaferri. Hopefully, you enjoyed the broadcast here on CIF North Coast TV, a member of the Play On Sports Network.